hey, you're not so bad. And he's like, I know. Hi, this is Cass from Aussie Cass Please, and welcome back to my, I almost said Shipwrecked Survival Challenge, but we are in the after phase of that now. Just starting off with a screenshot, a paused moment on the beautiful Matilda here. She is pregnant, she's not showing. I finally Googled what was causing all those moodlets. It was MC Command Center. So I had to get the computer to turn it off. But if you're having this and you want to turn it off, you have to go into the pregnancy settings on the PC, and under other, there is a random moods checkbox, which was enabled. I didn't even know that was a thing. So I assume at some point when I've updated MC Command Center, they've introduced that, and I just didn't realize it. It's taken me forever to look into it. They were very erratic, all of my pregnant sims, and it's been that way for a while. I'm actually just going to turn it off because I like the fact that Matilda doesn't know she's pregnant yet because she's not showing. Whereas those pregnancy moodlets start showing up from the second they conceive. Now I'm just zooming across here because I also wanted to show you guys Morgan showed up actually during school hours, which is probably of concern. I decided it was too confusing to me that she had black hair. So that was a rinse. That was like not her natural hair color. She's still a redhead. I can see why the person who made her over gave her black hair because obviously with her dad having black hair, it's pretty unlikely that a kid of someone who looks like her father would have this coloring, and EA just were like, meh, whatever, when they created Morgan. But that's fine. There's still black in there because it hasn't washed out properly, but I think she's gorgeous and she is deserving of Kai's affection. Now, it's actually Wednesday afternoon because by the time I'd done all the makeovers and stuff, school had started, and I actually want to follow Tillie today. Now, I have actually built a baby room for the baby already, even though she doesn't know she's pregnant. So we're just going to ignore that part. We're just going to ignore that part. I will show you guys. It's nothing special, but change table and a bassinet and a rug. And I kind of went with the greens. And like, obviously the room is very yellow because the whole house is quite yellow in honor of Sulani. I figured green is kind of gender neutral. Now, one thing I have to let you guys know, her brother is in a mean streak. She's actually gotten herself into a rebellious streak. They'll argue with their parents more often, swear and procrastinate when doing homework, which is hilarious. Aww, daddy's come in. Oh. Morgan wants to be best friends with Kai. This version of Morgan doesn't have the good trait, obviously. She's self-assured and outgoing. I think she still is on party animal, though. So I do feel like Morgan could lead our boy into... Morgan wants to go to the prom with Kai as friends. Well, of course. I don't know where Kai actually is. He seems to have vanished. Oh, he's gone out here. I have locked this computer so the kids can't use it, by the way. I don't think the kids would even want to use it. Oh my god, everybody's turned up. Are you okay, Audrey? So Audrey's here and Sebastian's here. Oh my god, Audrey. The hell? Audrey's like, you weren't supposed to come here. What if Kano followed us? I assume, maybe. I mean, that's actually a thing. We are trying to keep our location a little bit secret. Now, Kai obviously would be very excited that he just got asked to the prom by the girl he has a crush on. He's probably sad about it being a friends interaction. I also did the kids are solid and got rid of all the fish out of the fridge. So in theory, it should be quite difficult for them to eat fish now. They're just going to talk over here. Are they flirting? That look kind of flirty. Look, I'd like him to actually just throw a flirt in there. Audrey, is she coming out here to kick my bin again? Hang on. I'm going to shout at her and then I'm going to send her home. It's like, what the hell? You just spilled trash all over the girl I have a crush on, Audrey. All right, there we go. He's like, how dare you? Morgan's run inside to clean up, presumably. Get out, Audrey. I know I've got 2-week seasons, but it is day 4 of spring. Is this world just like super snowy compared to the rest of the worlds? I don't know what's going on. Is my game glitched? Why is it still snowy? That's fine. Hopefully he'll get some fun from this. Gosh, it's actually pretty late. Morgan did show up. Oh my god. I sped it up because I was like, they're lagging. Straight in the face. Ooh. I think Tillie wants to go for a swim because she's missing the ocean. She's a child of the ocean. I don't know if this will feel that kind of need. I feel like it won't. So she's sneaking out. It's 8 o'clock at night. It's a school night. She hasn't done her homework. And it's snowy. But I figure she's feeling rebellious. I'm a rugged, independent child. And you got to remember, the kids were pretty kind of free-range independent. Oh, we're still snowball fighting. Look, I mean, it's cute. Yay! Matilda's just realised she's pregnant. She's feeling flirty? Oh, straight in the face. Okay, she's feeling flirty. Apparently being hit in the face with guys' balls. No, I didn't say that. Apparently being in a snowball fight makes her flirty. Okay, so she is receptive to that. Okay, they did get romance. They haven't cracked the 10 romance points or whatever it is. I'm not going to reveal crush. I'm just going to let them... Oh no, see, now he's being mean. No, dude. And she's like, yeah, all right. Hello, mixed signals. And she's leaving. Look, I get that. And then he's like, bye. This little one's out here going for a swim, which her parents are not going to approve of. I mean, she's scared of the dark, so in a way, this is a bit out of character. But to be fair, she's swimming in the, like, marked safe area, so she's not totally misbehaving. Everything else she's doing is wrong. I realised I can't play. I really wanted to play the other household, but I can't while she's pregnant. I guess I could pause her pregnancy. Oh, she's blue. Maybe get out of the water. Okay, get out. She's like suddenly gone, oh wait, hang on, I can't feel my limbs. I don't know if children can actually freeze to death. I'm gonna say that she was smart enough to bring her winter clothes down to the water's edge, just because I don't want to risk it. So she's like, oh, yeah, okay. Maybe I shouldn't have, but she's going to go back to the house. I was going to see if her mum caught her, except she's decided to have a nap. Well, she keeps sleeping on the couch. She refuses to sleep in her bed. I think by this point she's probably realising. So, you know, she's coming in here, checking on him. I'm going to say go in here. So she's checking on him. He's doing his homework. And she's going to go up and just, you know, look to tuck Tillie into bed. Of course, Tillie's not in there. She's coming back from a swim. This would be really hard to pass off because if you think about it, her hair would be wet. If she's got her swimwear on underneath her clothes would be wet. So she's like, hey, I got away with it. Yeah, she's still cold though. So I'm going to tell her to go to bed and we'll just see how they cross paths. I'm going to have to put the walls down. The one thing I don't like about this house is there's no room for camera angles. So she's realised her daughter's not in her room. I'll have her go in the bathroom, check if she's in there, knocking on the door, ask about her day. As in, the question is actually, where have you been? You know, there'd probably be like, her butt would be wet, that kind of thing. Like, she's just put clothes on over the top of wet swimmers. Can I discipline her at all? Probably not. I think to discipline her, we figured this out in Not So Berry. I actually need Tillie to be rude. I'm going to argue about house rules. So Matilda's like, how come you're wet, basically? And Tillie's like, oh, I slipped in the snow. And Matilda's like, that doesn't look like you slipped in the snow. Like, the water patterns on her don't look like just one spot where she slipped. Do you know what I mean? Why is your hair wet? So they're having a big argument, and then I'm going to get her to give her time out. Tillie's like, it's not fair. I used to be able to go swimming whenever I wanted. Why do I have to be in bed at a certain time? And Matilda's like, why on earth would you go swimming in winter at night? And Tillie's like, never used to be a problem. So she now has to sit here. You can't really see the clock, but she has to sit here because she's in timeout. Poor Matilda. I guess I'll get her to go to bed. I actually think she'd just be going in here to cool off, but since she's tired, this little one, feeling super focused actually. Quiet timeout provided focus. I would have thought it would just make them crankier, which makes me worry. I'm like, what were you thinking about during your timeout? Given she's being rebellious, what focus did she have? I think the obvious answer is that she's going to try and get down to the beach, catch a bus. Given how often Sebastian and Audrey and Julian have all popped in, let's say it's like about a 2-hour bus ride, so it is a doable day trip on a bus. I could show you little Caspian, because you haven't actually seen him yet. Oh, she's fully rested already. Okay. I think I'm actually going to have Tillie sneak off in the middle of the night, since she's awake so early. She's like, I want to go to the beach. I want to swim in the ocean where it's warm. She's a child of the ocean. She's very drawn to the ocean. And her mum kind of understands that, but also doesn't. She understands the draw to the ocean, but she doesn't feel it on the bone deep level that her kids do. All right, so we're going to imagine it's 2 hours later. Little Tillie has been dropped off at the kind of central area in Sulani. I figure this is where the bus would stop, right? Probably they'd be busting. I'm actually going to say use bathroom just in the interest of realism, because let's be real, coach type toilets, they're not the vibe. Say, hey, Chooks. And here we have what looks like her mum and dad. That's probably making her feel a little bit guilty, especially because they're going to wake up, not know where she is, and then panic. So she probably wants to see Caspian, but she'd also be aware that if Gillian or Sebastian see her, there's no way they're not sort of dragging her into their house and then calling her parents. So you guys know Audrey's over here in this little house. I figure this was Audrey's house originally. It's a made-over version of the EA house. So it's got the same floor plan, but it's cuter. So that's Audrey. Sebastian and Gillian are over here in this beautiful house. They obviously made out like bandits. I'm not sure why there's a tower over there. That's probably always been there. Why is there a weird tower? Is it just not rendering properly? What is that? Some kind of shrine, I guess. Yeah, this is their house. They obviously did quite well for themselves on the whole sort of talking circuit tour. Oh, Matilda got promoted. Nice work. She's like just getting ready for work and figures that her daughter's sulking in her room. He works from home, so he would notice, just because Matilda actually obviously starts work early, like 7 a.m. So she could reasonably expect to not see Tillie. Now there's Sebastian. She's seeing her uncle and is probably like, don't really want to get too close. Come over here and collect this shell. Can you collect the shell? Yes. She hasn't actually been to this house, I don't think, so she wouldn't know. This is actually Caspian's room and it is separate. It had three different rooms here. So I figured one of them's like a guest room, which is this one. That's the sort of study / gym. That's Caspian's room. His parents obviously trust him that close to water. And then we've got the parents' room and like a dining area and stuff. But it looks like Caspian's actually having breakfast with his mum. I also haven't knocked on the door, which is against all of my rules. I really should do that. She actually wants to become friends with Caspian as well. I might try and like sneaky add him to a group if I can catch him. I am actually going to have her. I don't actually want to knock on the door. The reason I want to do this is because I don't like not loading the interior of the house when I visit the lot, because I've had a sim burn to death because I couldn't get inside to save them before. Not that I think Tillie could do a lot. I want to just load it just in case, because that would be very sad. Oh, look, little Caspian. I haven't actually shown you guys in this year. I had him in the Machinima, but Caspian was a toddler on the island. But yeah, this is little Caspian. This is what he looks like as a child. He's a very cute child. So I don't actually want her to go in. She's like, hey, Caspian. And she's like trying to kind of get his attention and call him over here. During class, Gillian can see that the students are not wrapping their heads around a tough subject, causing them to grow frustrated. The standard method for teaching this seems to be ineffective, but Gillian recalls a controversial new teaching method. She's already got fame. Does she want more fame? Meh. I mean, I shouldn't really be seeing that anyway. I'm not playing her household, but it's because she's marked as a played household, I guess. So she's got Caspian's attention before I jumped on the bus. He's going to be like, why are you here? She's like, I wanted to go swimming in the beach where it's warm. Ooh, Audrey just jogged past and didn't bat an eyelid. Maybe she just wasn't paying attention and didn't recognize the kids. Okay, Caspian is a goofball. I think she'd also... Oh, she adores him. Now, there's a bit of an age gap here, but if she's like 10, he'd be about 8, 7. So, you know, he's the cute younger cousin. He is adorable. So she wants to go swimming. He's like, oh, I should probably go to school. And she's like, well, you've missed the bus. You can't. Which is kid logic. Oh, the school's calling. Would she have a phone? She wouldn't even have a phone. Because I was going to say, it's probably her dad. So she's over the moon because she's a child of the ocean. She's just like, this is perfect. Why did we even have to move away? It makes sense to me that she'd be feeling rebellious. She's like, ha, you can't get hold of me. I know that's a mod. That would actually be, I really want to see that. It's completely out of character, but I really want to see that. I don't know how that would even work. I mean, they're the same height, so in theory the animations should be fine. Whisper about celebrity. Does that mean Kano or Vi are in the neighborhood? Okay, so Vi is actually around. What about him? He's the real problem. Okay. I don't know if Sebastian's still home or if he's left. He's angry. I mean, he would be. He's looking for Matilda. And he knows where these guys live. Okay, so he's rocked up and he's yelling at Sebastian. Yeah, you can like mischief. I wonder how often this has happened. Because Sebastian's come over a couple of times. And I think Kano would be like, just tell me where she is. You know, he's having a full-on meltdown over here. Are you having an emotion bomb? That looked like an emotion bomb to me. If he knew Tillie was here, I think he would want to talk to her. There's Via, I think. Is that her? Yeah. She's probably keeping an eye on Kano. He would see the kids as, like, easier marks to persuade. She's getting hungry. Oh, wait. I didn't mean to do that. Can I reset those back to where they were? That's closed, right? She was in the yellow. I just right-clicked on that. I didn't realise that was going to happen. I think I'm going to have them go back to the house. The coast seems clear. And he's probably like, hey, I'll show you my bedroom. Because he doesn't realise how much they're breaking the rules. Obviously, me sending her towards these two is partly intentional just because I want the drama. She's like, I'm going to go get some food. Now, he would definitely want to talk to her. So I've just queued a couple of interactions for Kano. He has seen Tillie and he's cutting her off. And he's like, hey, long time no see, little one. She's like, hi. And he's splashing her and being super playful. And she's like, hey, you're not so bad. And he's like, I know. I've looked out for you since you were a tiny baby and kept an eye on you and made sure you were safe. It's so good to see you back at the ocean. And she's like, yeah, I've missed it. So I'm going to have her help fix bad relationship. Milo, interesting. There's a lot of other people he should have a bad relationship with. Mainly Malachi, let's be real. She's going to complain about her parents. I actually think that's very realistic. Because he's saying, hey, it's great to see you at the ocean. And she's like, yeah, I can't believe that they made me leave and go to that horrible place. Now, of course, this is an opportunity for him to be like, what a horrible place. And she knows she's not supposed to tell him, and I don't think she would. She's going to tell him a make-believe story because she's trying to cover. But in the course of telling her make-believe story, I think she's going to, because remember, she's only like 10. She's going to be like, it's just so cold all the time. It's not the same, you know? It's not like this ocean. It's not warm. It's just so cold. But she's like, thinks she's being really kind of cunning because she's like not saying where it is. And he's like, okay, well, a cold ocean area. There are a few places that could be. Not many, obviously, in terms of Sims 4 worlds. There's Windenburg and Brindleton Bay. They both get snow and have ocean fronts. Newcrest. Is that an ocean or a river? I mean, in terms of the world, it would not narrow it down that much at all. But in terms of The Sims 4, it narrows it down a lot. So I'm not going to say he knows where they are, but he's got a pretty decent clue, you know? All right, Matilda's come home. The parents are panicking by this point, I fully expect. Tillie's like, I need some food. He's probably going to do that. This is a real serious red flag situation. He's like, I'm going to make you a deal. I won't tell anyone I saw you here, but you're not allowed to tell anyone you saw me here. I think she'd agree to that. Obviously, if you are a minor and you're watching this, if an adult ever asks you to keep a secret from the other adults in your life, that is a massive red flag. Unless it's like, hey, don't tell dad what we got him for his birthday. That obviously is fine. All right, grab a serving of some shish kebab. Hopefully it's not about to go off. I have turned off headline effects. She's decided to walk all the way into the house looking for food. She's probably thinking that she should head home soon. She's like, oh no. Oh, little guy, he's so tired. He's fallen asleep. So I'm going to have her eat and then try and head back. She's going to get in trouble regardless because the school will have called and her dad will have realised she's out of responsibility trait range. Kai is a B student and the game's like, hey, do better. But I feel like a B student for him is pretty amazing, let's be real. So she's eating her uncle's food. He's like, he won't mind. So she's like, bye, Caspian, I gotta head home. He's like, okay. He's also going to get in trouble. But I don't know if his parents would realise he didn't go to school as immediately. I feel like it would be the follow-up text from the school saying, you know, please notify why your child was absent today. And they'd be like, what? I had one of those texts once for my son and he was at school. For some reason, they just didn't mark him present on the roll. And then they were like, oh no, he was here. The text message scared the crap out of me. My woes notwithstanding. All right, let's come over here. And once she gets back there, I'm going to take her home. She's checking out the house. She's like, oh, that's a nice bedroom. I wish this was my parents' bedroom. You're so lucky, Caspian, that you get to live at the beach. Kano seems nice. I don't understand why we have to run away from him. I don't know if she's aware of everything that happened after the wedding. I guess her parents probably said, hey, look, Kano didn't want us to leave. And that's why we have to hide from him. But from her point of view, especially in her rebellious mindset, she's like, well, I agree with Kano. I didn't want us to leave either. So what's the problem here? You know, maybe it would be good if Kano found my parents because maybe then he'd make it so we didn't have to leave anymore. She's going to be super late. It's taken her 2 hours just to swim this far. All right, so she's running back. She's got a bus ticket to get home. She's popping her clothes back on. She's like, what? I went to school. There's no way they're going to believe her. She's now BFFs with cousin, which is cute. That's a good outcome for Tillie. But she's had her little rebellious day. She would happily move in with her aunt and uncle if she thought they'd let her. I don't want that to be the outcome, but if she were miserable enough, I wonder if her parents would let her go. Anyway, so she's got home. She's like, oh, because look, oh, the snow's all melted. It's amazing. All I had to do was go to Sulani for the day. So the sun is actually setting and she's like probably realizing at this point, she's like, oh no. So I'm going to have her try and sneak in and be like, what? I was always here. These two would be frantic. And since she's walked straight to the front door, I'm actually going to have her intercept her. I've clicked teach on responsibility, but I feel like they should be shouting first. She's like, oh my God, I'm so thankful you're home. Where have you been? And Tillie's like, what? I went to school. And she's like, and she's taking a calm approach, which I'm very impressed about. Basically, her mum's saying, now, Tillie, you have the responsibility as a member of this household to be honest with me. I kind of should have her argue. I'm going to say argue about house rules. I guess the conversation's escalating because Tillie's being defiant. It's my time to stand up to authority and be rebellious. A few good hugs or helping me with my homework could get me to soften my attitude. I didn't know that. What's the matter? Is it going to change my household? Because I think he would be... Actually, no, he's tired. I'm going to have him say no. I think he would want to ask his parents, but I don't think, like, he would realise that they would say no. Tillie's given her some sass and she's finally snapped. So she was trying to be calm and explain that she knows that her daughter wasn't at school, and Tillie's like, shut up. So she sent Tillie to bed. She's come out and she's like, I can't believe Tillie skipped school, won't tell me where she went. I don't know. I mean, Tillie's had 2 hours for her hair and her clothes to dry. She normally wears Sulani style clothes. I feel like ultimately they'd figure out she went to Sulani just because Sebastian and Matilda at some point, if they're talking on the phone and Sebastian's like, my kid skipped school today, and she'd put 2 and 2 together and realise her kid was the ringleader of the school skipping. Oh, the other thing I wanted to do with Kai, for him to join the football team, it looks like it's a after school activity on the phone, I think, because I think they'd recruit him. If the football team didn't, the swim team would, but it's just they don't have a swim team. In fact, it should be the swim team. His parents have probably been stressed all day and panicking, and he's just really struggling. I mean, I feel bad for Tillie as well, don't get me wrong, even though she's being hell on wheels at the moment. So is he. But he's just being nasty to people. Oh, actually, he's over his mean streak. He's seen the error of his ways. Now, he's got prom Saturday. We'll do that in the next part. Join the football team and level up on fitness. You'll be able to practice football throwing and catching performance that you can show off at the Sports Day Festival. Along with football practice, you'll be able to reach captain level position and earn a golden football, team flag, and trophy. So he starts at 3:30. So what I'm going to do is, I guess I'll follow him tomorrow, just because we've got football and then we've got prom. So I'll probably do that in the next part, I think. I'm going to actually wrap this part up here. Her parents don't know yet, but they will by the next part know that she went to Sulani, and they'll be terrified that Kano's going to find them. I don't know exactly what they think Kano would do. I know what Malachi would be afraid. Oh my God, she's sleeping on them. She always sleeps on that thing. I don't understand. She's also probably going to give birth in the next part. It's going to be a busy next part for this household. And then I think after that, I'll pop across and we'll spend some time with Joshua and Milo. I feel bad that we haven't yet, but it's tricky when you're dealing with high school. So thank you to, I want to say Kat, left a name suggestion for me already, so thank you very much. If anyone else has any name suggestions for Matilda's baby, I would love to hear from you. Obviously, Kai is named after Malachi and Tillie is named after Matilda. I feel like we've kind of tapped that well. So if we were going to name the baby after a member of the family, the most likely member would actually be Sebastian, but I don't know. I can't even think what you would do. I don't feel particularly tied to having an ocean theme name for this next kid, just because they're kind of trying to distance themselves from that life, trying to be like, well, we can't go back, so let's move on. But the house is full of Sulani themed stuff. They're not doing a very good job, let's be real. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this part up here. If you've enjoyed, please like and subscribe. You know the drill. Don't forget to wash your hands, and I will catch you next time. Thanks for watching.